Hello, everybody. And you know what? Here's the funny part to my radio guys. I'm sorry, Pat Porter. I'm coughing. It's dry in here. I don't care what you say. And I don't smoke anything. But you know what? Bad news right here today because for all my radio people, they can't hear me because this thing isn't streaming. We are having technical difficulties in the studio this morning. So I am recording the show and I am videotaping the show on the video. So all my video guys will get to see it. My radio guys can see it later. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is your city, your voice. That says so right up there. In the studios of 4680Q, the big sign right over there. And we are in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, coming to you live. Well, we're supposed to be live on the radio, on the internet radio, 4680q.com, but it's not working. So you're going to catch it on as a video. And we're ready to rock and roll here on a Straight Talk Thursday. Oh, man, show number 589. We're headed to 600. You know, when I hit 600, Peter Dichter's got to come in, but we have a slight problem. Peter's going to be in Naples, Florida. So I'm going to get him in here on the Friday. Before show number 600, just to talk about 600 and that kind of thing. And, it's going to be a usual Monday where we do shots at everything. So anyway, let's get on with this show today. And of course, before we get on, we have to talk about the weather because it said it was 39 degrees out this morning, but I don't know. My temperature, my thermometer said 52. But it felt a little chilly out there today. I must say that the balmy 68-degree mornings are a thing of the past, I think, as we give way to fall and more seasonable temperatures. But you know what? We know fall's here. We know what's coming. And that's not a problem. Look at this bright sunshine, although they are spraying chemtrails and clouding everything up. These aren't normal clouds out there. They're chemtrails. Clouding it up and keeping it cool. I don't know why they do that. Excuse me. I think DeSantis has banned that in Florida. I have to get Peter Dichter and ask him about that. He'll know. But we know what's coming. We know fall's coming, winter's coming, Halloween's coming. Everything's coming in October. On this beautiful October, what the heck is it today? It's the 2nd today, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's the 2nd. I mean, October 1st was the first day of October. Yesterday we did Absolutely. Today's the 2nd. And yeah, here we go. 4 weeks and we're in November, believe it or not, right? We're going by Thanksgiving, not this weekend. Next weekend's Thanksgiving. For all those Americans listening in who don't know when the Canadian Thanksgiving is. Yeah, we celebrate ours about a month and a half early. But I celebrate both. I like both of them. And a lot of Canadians, they wait for Black Friday. Don't worry. Don't let them kid you. The American Thanksgiving's on the last Thursday in the month, 4th Thursday of the month. And then everybody goes into Black Friday, which is the beginning of the Christmas season. Oh, how am I even talking about this? We're in November or October 1st. I'm talking about Christmas. There you go. That's how fast it gets here. Anyway, the one thing you don't want to do is monkey around with your car. Come on, let's face it. Now's the time to get your car in and get it all set up for the winter. You don't want to be breaking down in the cold weather, the rainy, that cold November rain. You don't want to be breaking down on that. You go see Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. He's going to take your car in, throw it on his diagnostic equipment, give you the lowdown, give you a fair price, fix any problems, and get you out there on the road. And you need a defroster, you need a heater, you need brakes, you need good stuff, winter tires if you're so inclined. Come on, let's get it done right now while we have these beautiful days. You want to do it now because once it gets cold, though, you know what's going to happen? All those procrastinators are going to jam up Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, and then you're going to have to wait a week for an appointment. He's always really busy. So come on, get out there, be proactive, take your car in, go to wildbillsauto.ca to make your appointment. Let's get with it here. And if you get in a wreck, he's got a full body shop. Send your car back to you in showroom condition. Not a problem. That's what he does at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. And, we thank him for sponsoring the show. He's a good corporate citizen. And also, we want to tip our hats to our other sponsors, Pete's Pizza and Hamel Machine Company. Excuse me. See, Pat Porter don't believe that I get in here and I get all choked up, but I do. It happens every day. Like I don't know. There's something about this place. So anyway, we'll get to our other sponsors later on in the show, but for now, it's our Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Okay, viewer comments. We didn't really have any comments, so I'm not going to go into that unless we get some more later on. But I will talk. I want to talk about this thing I found, and you can see it. Downtown Niagara News, and it's kind of an advertisement story. It's one front page. It tells who runs it. It's editor, creator, and producer Krista Barrett. Barrett. And I wish they changed the font. I started reading it, I couldn't read it anymore. It's just too hard to read. So, but they got a story on the front about downtown advisory committee formed, and I don't know. Is this the one that was hooked up with the guy that formed this advisory committee that got $15,000? Is that the same people? They were together. I don't know. Founding members. I don't know what that is. Advisory committee form. Oh, that's oh yeah. No, this is the other guy who got 15,000. Anyway, I don't know. There's whack jobs down here. I'll tell you, it's wacky down here. Anyway, $15,000 is a story about a cat cafe, which actually I think is pretty cool. Go in there and see all these cats. That's a cool cat. I've got a cat. Downtown speaker survey. Do you think it's great that they have speakers downtown? Well, if they do have speakers, why aren't they playing 4680Q? We're right downtown. We're a radio station in downtown. Why aren't they playing our music, streaming our music on it? And how come we're not mentioned in here? Valleyway was once a river. Great story, except I can't read it. Too small printing. I don't like the font. And I know it's called Muddy Run. I know the story of that, too. I could tell it right here. Roberts robbed. So it's kind of a thing about Robert's Jewelers is staying open there. Rob, what else? Artist Corner. Oh, yeah, you can do a crossword puzzle or draw something. I don't know. Court of Public Opinion. Now, once again, this font kills me. I can't. Something about Queen Street, tried, trusted, and true. I don't hear ye. Where's the town crier? Well, Pat Sirianni's the town crier. So where is he? Derek Tidd. He has been here for a long time. Oh yeas, oh yeas. Yeah, I don't know. Where the Pat Sirianni's our town crier. Talking about emergency preparedness and a bunch of events downtown. I don't see your city, your voice on here. Anyway, if they change the font, it's not a bad idea. Congratulations for them doing it. I always sound like I'm criticizing things, but I just look at it through the eyes of Joe Blow. If I was looking at this, first of all, like if you're over 450, you probably can't read it. The font's hard to read, whatever font they use. It's so small, and I think the stories could be a little bit more concise, getting the point across with that big thing in a little bit bigger font, maybe. Of course, there's advertising on it. You can actually subscribe to this thing if you want. I think it's $15. I don't know. I read it somewhere here. $15 for the first 4 months or something. Anyway, you get this one free. Go grab one. They're hanging around downtown. I don't know where they are. Does it say where they're probably thing? I don't know. Letters to the editor. Thank you for reading this publication. Printing is anything but dead. Okay. Niagara Hub. Garage classified ads free. If you want to put something in here free, you can. Anyway, there you go. Niagara, the Downtown Niagara News, first edition, issue number 1. Free. Free. Oh, events inside. Okay, they show the events. How about October the 8th, the start of the NHL this year? Absolutely, you'll be covering it. Okay, enough of that. There it is. Do what you like. If anyone gets a chance this Saturday, I'm all full of public service announcements today. Look at that. Look at that. If anybody gets a chance this Saturday, though, I would say if you'd like, come on down to the Armory on Victoria Avenue and Jepson Street, the old Victoria, the Armory. 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. They're going to have a fundraiser. They're trying to save the Armory because they want to tear it down or get rid of it or something. And the gang, Pat Sirianni, Niagara History and Trivia, probably Jimmy Brown's involved. A whole bunch of people are involved anyway to save this Armory. And they're going to have a barbecue and a book sale and everything else. So I'm going to head down there with Liz on Saturday at some point and have a hamburger and do our part to support it. Liz loves reading books. So do I. I'll see if they have anything I'm interested in. I'll buy a couple books. But either way, I'm going to show up. I don't go to a lot of this stuff, these events. I had one yesterday I wanted to go to, and I'll talk about that later. But I couldn't make it. But I'm going to go Saturday. I'm going to make an effort to get down there on Saturday and support saving the Armory. It's been around since I was a kid with the big cannons out front. And I'm choking here. The big cameras out front and everything else. This Saturday, October 4th, the Armory, parking out back. You can park out back of the Armory. There's parking back there. And, of course, on-street parking. Go down, grab a hamburger, support it. We got to save this Armory. It's a historic building. It's been there as long as I can remember. I don't know when it was built exactly, but there's a museum in there, too. You'll be able to take a tour of the museum, have something to eat, buy some books. It's going to be a good day. You'll see a lot of people you know probably. Hopefully all the city councilors go down there. They should be involved in saving it. I don't know if our city's going to kick in anything. I mean, if they can afford a $17 million walking trail nobody wants, if they can afford $25,000 concrete ping pong tables and everything else, you might think they would want to throw in a few bucks, but who knows? They support weird things. They don't support things that we need to support. And this is one of them. And I'm not a big guy for historic buildings. You know that. Most of them to me can be torn down. They're decrepit, but this is going. And it's a nice building and it's historical. So this is one I would like to go and help out. Okay, moving on. What time is it? Oh, it's already 10 after 12. Wow. And once again, I apologize to anybody who was trying to listen on the radio and never got anything. The streamer's not working. It's nothing I can do from my end here. We need the tech guys to take care of that. Latest news on Counselor Mike Strange in his assault charges. Now, I've been staying on this pretty close, trying to get more information, but it was finally in the paper. I'm not making this up. This isn't from an inside source. This is from probably Ray Spiteri. He usually reports on stuff like this. But apparently he's going to trial next year. So, way back when it happened, I said, you're not going to see anything come out of this before the election next year. And, we're almost there, a year. April 26th, it's going to start up the trial, and it should last 2 days. So I don't know what happened to justice being swift. And, a year on an assault charge? I don't know. That doesn't sound swift to me. But it's going to be a year, and then who knows what else until this puppy is over. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, Strange was charged with assault by Niagara Regional Police at the beginning of May. And that's something I didn't know who charged them, the victim or the police. Now, the police charged them. Makes a little bit of a difference. Now, the date is set April 26th, almost 1 year after the incident, like I said. So if you remember, the police were called to a private residence at 3:30 in the morning where they found a woman that needed medical attention. She was assaulted and injured. She fingered Strange as the one that assaulted her. Then they picked up Strange, arrested him, charged him with assault. took him downtown, had to put up the bail. He had to put up bail, or somebody did, and a restraining order was placed on him. Not sure what kind of extenuating circumstances could make this okay, but if there is one, it'll come out in court. And Mike Strange at city council meeting said he's innocent, and this is something that's vindictive, and the truth will come out, and blah blah blah. So we'll see. 2 days should be enough to decide this one, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know. If you're going to decide to whack a woman, the best thing is to put your hand in your pocket and walk away. Being a boxer who's trained to knock people out, probably even a better idea for a guy like that. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Mike declares his innocence, and he is innocent until proven guilty, no matter what anybody says or thinks. That's the way we work it. We'll see what comes out in court, and I still don't think it'll get to court. I think it'll be settled out of court, but that's just me. I've been saying that for a while too. So there you go. That's the update. I always give updates and everything else. There go the Dugay girls walking by. See them all the time, headed to Grand Central. I don't know exactly who these ones are. There's about 5 or 6 sisters here or something, and I can never tell them apart, to tell you the truth. But they're there. They always wave at me. So when you see pictures, it looks like something out of Gaza in Niagara Falls. Where are you? Well, you're not in Gaza, obviously. What you are is down on Murray Hill with hundreds of people on the streets setting off smoke bombs right in the middle of our tourist area. Well, isn't that nice? It looks like Gaza, but you're not in Gaza. You're on Murray Hill, right by the casino, across from hotels. The police say that these terrorists protesting on our streets were disruptive at times, but overall managed without escalation or significant safety issues. Well, one of those smoke bombs landed on your head. They threw off the bridges there that go from the Skyline Tower parking lot right across Murray Hill to the casino. Or if one fell down your pants, I would imagine it'd be pretty disruptive, and it might even be escalated and significant. I mean, are you kidding me? Come on. You got these people there in the tourist area blocking traffic. That's not disruptive in the middle of our tourist area. Are these police crazy? Who do they get their orders from? Kamala Harris? And here's the sad part about it. The whole scene was broadcast around the world on social media. Well, isn't that great for Niagara Falls? Oh yeah, here you come to Niagara Falls. In the middle of a protest, gets smashed by smoke bombs. I mean, like, what are the cops? This isn't significant or disruptive. Hey, cops, stata zita. Let's tell you the real story here. Come on. Not only that, they're chanting anti-Israel slogans with anti-Israel signs. You know, those ones that say from the river to the sea, set Palestine free, which is really a call to exterminate all the Israelis. Yeah, that's what it is. Everybody knows it. Oh, but that's not hate speech, nor is it racist. I mean, it's a wonder that the truckers never got the same respect as the terrorists do. But then again, they were calling truckers terrorists and white supremacists and Nazis, trampling them with horses. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. All these refugees and illegals, it just makes me sick. And while all this is going on, what's the mayor's take on it? Well, his take was let the police handle it. They're not handling it, Mayor Jim. You're the mayor of the city. Maybe you should be down there in checking it out rather than doing the jazz hands dance. I don't know. I just don't get this city. I don't get it at all. The CEO of the Niagara region said the reality was peaceful. Didn't look peaceful to me. People yelling and screaming, setting off smoke bombs and hate speech. That didn't look peaceful, but here's the worst part. The leader of the protesters, um, he said that when you protest, you're not supposed to be polite. You protest so that you're listened to, and if nobody listens, you protest louder. Okay, nobody's listening, so what are you going to do now? We're going to keep coming out, and we're going to keep on this case until something really changes. Well, you know what's going to change? This is what's going to change. It's going to go from a peaceful event to a very, very, very dangerous event. Because what's going to happen, and I'm talking to Gabriel, the leader of the terrorists, you're going to get the JDL out. And they're not going to like what you're saying. And they're going to challenge you. And then there's going to be a big fight. Why don't you go to Israel and protest? Why don't you go to Gaza and protest Hamas? They're the ones causing your trouble. They're the architects of your misery. You know why? Because they're cowards, safe in the hands of the Niagara Regional Police and the government of Canada. That's why they won't go over there and protest. They get away with this crap because Canadians let them. They're allowed to. In Israel, Gaza, these terrorists would be all arrested, never be seen again, probably. In Canada, they call hate speech filled protests and smoke bombs peaceful. But only if you're in special groups is this kind of stuff allowed. And you know, everything like this is okay. It's okay by the police, it's okay by the mayor, it's okay by all these people until it's not okay. And when it's not okay, people are going to be getting hurt. David Adams and Mayor Diodati and Police Chief 40, are they ready for what's about to happen, about to go down in our tourist areas? Are they ready for people to stay away because it's too dangerous in Niagara Falls? People are watching these videos. It looks like England right now. It's going on around the world. People are seeing what is happening. It's not good for the city. It's not good for tourism. Police have to get involved. They got to clear these terrorists out. Do they have a right to peacefully protest? Sure, they do. But when they're ruining the tourist industry, setting off smoke bombs, and using hate speech to get their message across, that's where their rights are ended. That's where their rights are ended. This has to be stopped. It has to be stopped fast. Enough said, because these people say they're coming back every weekend. So I think the police better get down there and take care of business here. Somebody's gotta get on the ball here and take care of business, because I'm telling you right now, if a big brawl breaks out down the parks, the Tulip Patrol cannot handle this. They're not equipped to handle this. This isn't what they do. So the Niagara Regional Police better get on the ball and better get ready. Maybe with the OPP too or something, the RCMP, I don't know who. And not only that, if we had ICE, half these protesters will be going back home. Believe me. And that's all I have to say about that. The next sponsor's coming up, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And you know what? This is what I wanted to talk about. Yesterday was the grand opening of Pete's Pizza on Thorlestone Road, where the old pie guys used to be. And Mike and Rex, they invited me down there to the opening. I couldn't go because Wednesday afternoons I go see my mother in the home. This is when I go, and that's where I headed. So unfortunately, I couldn't go for the grand opening, but I think I saw the Cheeto Bandito there. I saw Counselor um, uh, Patel, and who else was there? Pete Dichter, I saw him there. He was invited. We were both invited, actually. Who else was there cutting the ribbon? I saw Reno Mancini. And, you know, Pete's Pizza uses the Mancini family recipe. It's a franchise from the Mancinis. Been doing it for over 40 years. He was there. I wish I would have saw him. I haven't seen Reno in a lot of years, and he's a great guy and a nice family. Of course, Rex and Mike were there. And who else did I see there? Mike Strange, Counselor Strange was there for the opening of the place. They had a bunch of food out and everything. I missed out, and I apologize. But I don't apologize for their pizza. When I say their pizza's good, it's awesome. I've sent a lot of people there. A lot of people have heard about it on the show, and they've gone, and they've all liked it. I haven't heard anybody tell me they haven't. Maybe they're being polite, but I haven't heard that. And I know I like it. And why? Because it's consistent. The Mancini family recipe for sauce and crust, fresh toppings, chicken wings, panzerotti, poutine, steak and cheese poutine. And their new sandwich has been released, I believe, a chicken parm sandwich, which we had, which was excellent. Hey, you can't go wrong. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And now on Thorold Stone Road at Kayla Road. Get your pizza today, 905 374 2222. I don't have the phone number of the new place, but you can go to petespizzavictoria.ca. Check it out. All the information's there. Get your order. You know you love pizza. You know you want a pizza. Why wait? Support our sponsors. They support the show, and we thank them very much. And they support the city. They're good corporate citizens. Okay. You heard that old saying, your check's in the mail? Well, guess what? It is, but you're not going to get it because the posties are on strike again. So forget about it. You're not getting your mail. They're hunkered down, and it could be a long strike for them, they're saying. 55,000 that are holding strike signs, signing their own pink slips is what they're actually doing, not giving in. And you know what? The government couldn't care less because they're saving $10 million a day. Woohoo! Oh yeah, they burned through $500 million in the first 2 quarters of this year, looking to go towards almost $1 billion, and now they're saving $10 million a day. Well, they're the posties are standing around at garbage cans, trying to keep warm in these cooler nights. If they think the government's going to order them back to work, forget about it. It's not going to happen. They're wrong. The government wants to totally eliminate home delivery and turn to community mailboxes and close some rural post offices to save money. Nobody wants it anymore. Nobody needs it. They've become glorified flyer deliveries people. That's what they've become. And like I keep saying this because I laugh every time I say it. A lot of people didn't know that they were even on strike last time in November when they went before Christmas until they never got their Kentucky Fried Chicken coupons. And I mean, the Canada Post is going to give the CUPW, Canadian Union of Postal Workers, another offer. Last Friday, they said they were going to give them another offer, but delayed that to sometime this week. They claim they are committed to reaching a negotiated settlement with the CUPW, but at the end of the day, they can't lose $10 million a day and keep the outdated system the same. It's just impossible. People just aren't mailing letters anymore. And their strike last time showed the people who were mailing letters how to get away without mailing letters. So significant changes have to be made, including contracting the staff and perks like home delivery. I mean, really, as technology takes over, the posties have been writing their death notice for years. And they proved that last November that Canada, yeah, they ran fine through the Christmas season without them. And that was basically the test run for the Canada Post to see what would happen if they did shut down. And they found out real quick. They're done. I'm sure people are messaging me saying, "What's going on? The radio isn't working. It's not on the radio." Yeah, I can't even answer my messages because they're in the video. They're in my phone. So now add Postman to that list. You've seen the Breadman, Milkman, Iceman, Coalman. They all hit the dodos of the service industry. Now add Postman to that extinction list right there. They're becoming extinct. And you know what? They're going to stay on strike, and we'll see what happens. But they should have just kept working. They're getting paid. They're not getting paid bad. It's not they're getting paid nothing. They're offered 13%. I mean, in this day and age, that's probably the best they're going to get. I hope they get more if they want more, but they wanted 19%. It's not going to happen. So we'll see what they do. But my advice: get back to work. I mean, your jobs are not destined to be here for long. You maybe got 5 years if you went back to work right now. But if you don't, it may be less than a year. And I think people are already starting to look for jobs that work for the post office. They're looking for other jobs because they don't even have faith that they're going back. Okay, over to the Nag region. They love to rip us off, don't they? They just love anything they can do to grab our money. We always knew that. I mean, 126 politicians. We don't need that, but they still have them, and they're all getting paid, decent money. A lot of sunshine list workers. We could contract government by a ton and probably still go. But proof positive is the speed cameras. Even though Doug Ford said he's going to outlaw them in the next few weeks, make them take them down, stop that program because it's just a big ripoff. You know what? They're staying in the region until the government forces them to take them down. And why wouldn't they give us a break now? Let's take them down. No, the region is locked on the money. They want that money. Oh, they want that money, and they're not going to give it up unless Doug Ford does say take them down, and they have to by provincial mandate. You'd think in the interest of taxpayers, right? Think about it. Let's just take them down now. Give our taxpayers a break here because it's just a tax, let's face it. But no, they're going to squeeze every single dime they can out of you right to the last second, right to the nth hour. And they might even run them a couple days extra. Then everybody's going to have to fight the tickets because they're outlawed. Niagara's enforcement program issued more than 50,000 tickets in 2024 and cashed in to the tune of about $3 million. Now, do you see why they're fighting not to get rid of them? With the region getting 1.5 million and the balance split up proportionately between the 12 regional municipalities. Oh, yeah, Niagara Falls got their take. And the flow was so good that they were planning on like quadrupling the number of cameras, quadrupling their take. And with municipalities getting their own one-eyed bandits to rob you with. Oh yeah, they didn't want to get left out of the program, the shakedown. So they wanted their share, and they're going to put a bunch in here. And even last council, they were protesting it. The Penguin got up and said, "Oh well, Doug Ford's word is not law. We're going to continue this program until he actually mandates it." Right? You thought he was kidding? I guess I don't know. But the squirrel and the penguin, they're like this. They got these big eyes, the dollars. They can see the money just falling like Niagara Falls, just coming over the falls right into the city coffers where they can spend it goofily on what they want. It's a legal scam. One-eyed bandits. You heard of one-armed bandits in Vegas. Well, these are the one-eyed bandits. But guess what? You guys put your money bags away because you're not filling them with our money from speed cameras. Ford knows this Ponzi scheme well enough. Shutting it down is going to show cities how to calm traffic instantly without picking our pockets. So there you go. And the big excuse was safety. Oh, we need speed cameras. People are speeding. Safety. But what's zero from zero? There was no problems before. Never heard of a child getting hit by a speeding car through a school zone. Never even heard of an accident. Most people slow down anyway. They do around schools. Get the odd guy going, 5 or 6 miles over the speed limit. But, nothing major, but they get tickets, right? So, I mean, there isn't a problem. So how are you going to make it safer when it's already safe? It's just an excuse. That's all it is. It's just they're gaslighting you. So there you go. Councillor Lori Lococo was trying to pass a motion to stop everything right now, put everything on hold until we hear from Ford. They said, no, we're going ahead. Ford's word, because he said it, doesn't mean anything. It's not legislation. Okay, well, it's going to be. Now, if old Edsel Ford could only address the climate change hoax and stop that, we'd be all set. And you see what's happening. Oshawa's closing down. They're going to the States. They've had enough of Canada and all this baloney carbon tax and clean air fund and everything else. They're getting the hell out of Dodge. They're done. Hey, we get the government we deserve. Declare climate change a hoax like Trump did. Stop with all the baloney. Get rid of all the taxes. Get rid of this Paris Accord. Get rid of everything. And then go down and make a deal so we can keep our industry. But nah, elbows up, elbows up, elbows up, pants down, bend over. Listen, you're never going to beat Trump. You got nothing, Carney. Anyway, I digress. Well, everyone got a raise yesterday. Well, not everyone. I didn't. Did anybody on pensions get a raise? I don't think we saw anything. That's right. The minimum wage went up from $17.20 to $17.60 in Ontario. A nice 2.5% increase based on the Consumer Price Index. Isn't that what they base the taxes on? Like the city council always says, we got to raise it according to inflation, 3.9%. Now it's going to be 6%. We're looking at until they get there and see if they can trim it down a bit. But they always use that as an excuse. 3.9%, and another 1% for asset management, 4%, 4.9%, 5%. Well, they got a 2.4% increase, and seniors got squat. The increase brings Ontario to the number one minimum wage in the country. It's all good, right? It's all good. Well, tell that to a small businessman about whether it's all good or not. One person making another, 40 cents an hour, 8 hours a day, $8.32 a day. If you got 20 employees times 365 days, they're working if you're open 7 days a week and 4 shifts. You do the math, it's not as cheap as you sound. And you know what? Barring increase in prices, which means you're going to pay more, the consumer, he's got to eat it. I mean, these businesses are running on razor thin margins now with the increase of costs across the board for rent, for leases, for heat, for hydro, for gasoline, for deliveries, for services, for food they bring in if it's a restaurant. They've increased substantially. And that's not even including tariffs. So it leads to a decline in bottom line revenue. It's just another hit on the small businessman in Canada. Do you think the businesses are going to go to just absorb these costs without doing something? Excuse me. Less employees, less hours per employer, or even shutting down completely and getting out. And that's what you're seeing a lot of people doing. Saying the heck with this. I can't even make a decent living working 16 hours a day. I'm just going to go get a job. I mean, at $18 an hour, you're making, $800 or $900 a week. Yeah. So what the hey? They're not going to absorb the cost. They're going to shut down completely, and all the employees are going to go to part time, or they're going to cut back the hours of the business being open. Instead of being open at noon for lunch and that, they might just be open for dinner, whatever. But it never ends for them. They're paying in the back door and in the front door. It never ends. Why don't instead of raising the minimum wage, how about our government following Trump's lead and in the service industry, drop taxes on tips? How about that? That would help everybody in the service industry, and dropping taxes on overtime, which would help. I mean, you just can't continually tap Ontario businesses. It isn't a good thing. Eventually, they shut down. They can't take it anymore. And then we don't have them. And if we don't have them, they're probably going to move to the States. Some are. We're going to lose them. The auto industry is being devastated. And Canada, being the geniuses they are with climate change, threw threw all their cards into one barrel, the electric vehicle barrel, and gave billions to Stellantis and Ford and Volkswagen and all the other ones, GM. For what? For nothing, because now they're closed down. They don't even want to make them anymore. They're not selling. Nobody's buying them. There's a market for EVs for certain people that like that kind of thing, environmentalists or whatever. Once you get by those people, they've already bought their cars. They got into this right away. That's the market. It's done. What is it? 5%, 10%, whatever it is. The rest want cars. They can't afford them. Prices are too high. Interest rates are too high. So what are they doing? They're not buying. That's it. Now with these tariffs from on cars being shipped in the United States, I mean, they're not even affordable in the United States anymore. So now they're done. They're going to move to the States so there's no tariffs. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. And our fearless leader, Carney, running without a budget and just making decisions, upping the debt, Canada's debt to 20 trillion without any okay from anybody, making decisions without even calling Parliament back. They're finally back now. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. I don't know who voted for this guy, but whoever did, thanks a lot. Thanks for nothing. Okay, let's get off that. So Canada, I just hate talking about it. It's just so useless. It's just too DEI, too woke. It's just these people don't even make sense. Not to me, anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. Leave comments. What do you think? I don't know. Okay, the U.S. government is shut down. That's right. They're calling it the Schumer shutdown. Couldn't get a spending bill passed in the Senate because of the radical left wing Democrats. And the ones who aren't radical left wing, well, you know what? They're beholding to the left wing. You know why? Because AOC and that have taken over the Democratic Party. And if these guys like Schumer, the old codgers like Schumer, don't toe the new radical left wing line, they're going to be out. So he folded like a cheap suit, voted against this budget, the spending bill. And why? Well, they're not making any sense. They're saying that it's because they wanted free health care for illegals, which Trump promised everybody no to. They wanted to restore the NRP and PBS funding, a public broadcasting system, and the other one, NRP. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I should have looked it up. I apologize. But PBS is public broadcasting system, who have become totally left wing associated. They're not. They're supposed to be funded by the government, so they're not. They're supposed to be nonpartisan, but they've taken a real shift to the left, and that's the end of them. Trump won't support that anymore, but the Democrats want to. Um, they want to revoke rural hospital funding. They want climate and DEI funding for foreign nationals, which is a big no-no with Trump. You know that. And they want to continue the Biden Obamacare subsidies. Of course, Trump wants to get rid of all that, and he doesn't want to revoke funding for rural hospitals. So he wants to get rid of all that. These guys want it, so they won't vote for it. And they got to have a 60% mandate in the Senate to be able to do it. Now, the Republicans do have a slim majority, so they're able to all vote for it, but they can't get 60% without a few Democrats. Now, John Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania, who is called crazy, but he's one of the only guys making sense right now. He went with the Republicans, but they need a few more, so we'll see what happens with that. But while they're shut down, they're going to save hundreds of billions of dollars, and they're also going to save hundreds of billions of dollars if they throw out these things, this free healthcare for illegals and that kind of thing. So this was a point that Trump was elected on, to cut wasteful spending, and I think they said also 100,000 government employees have stepped down. They resigned or stepped down. So that's good. That's a lot of money. So there you go. I mean, the Schumer guy is a real goofball. And to shut these guys down, I mean, eventually it's going to run through the system where people aren't going to get paid. Schumer claims the American people are on his side, but the bottom line is 80 million of them voted for Trump and his policies of fulfilling his campaign promises. And that's what he's doing, and they forget that. Schumer fears his own side. That's why he's doing it. These radical people like AOC and Iman and Talib and all these other idiots. And with the midterms drawing closer, the blame is now squarely on Schumer and the Democrats for the shutdown. And guess what? Those midterms are coming in a year, and Democrats are going to be devastated. They're diving like the Titanic at this point. So we'll see what happens with this. What the shutdown actually means is there's no money to pay federal employees, so they're going on furlough, with only essential federal employees being able to be paid. It leaves about 40% of the federal workers, or about 750,000 people, without pay in areas. And they're going to stay home, but they won't get paid for it. Now, anybody that has to work, like essential employees, like air traffic controllers and firemen and policemen and stuff like that are federal. Of course, this is federal, not state. Of course, they're going to get retroactive pay. They won't get paid now until they pass the spending bill, but they will get retroactive pay for the thing. Anybody who's not essential that decides they want to work, they're going to be working for free. They won't get back pay. So there you go. You can stay home if you're deemed non-essential, but you won't get paid. You can go to work if you're deemed non-essential. If there's anybody working, but you won't get paid. And really, this is a battle between the left-wing radicals and the people who Trump represents. He's fulfilling his election promises to the people: cut wasteful spending, get rid of illegals, get the illegals off all the public services that they're tapping and costing taxpayers billions of dollars. Now, if you're headed over the border, because it does affect the border, that's federal, you can be prepared for potential long waits, but you'll still be able to go stateside. You can still go over there. You're just going to have to wait a little bit. And if anybody in the States is applying for passports and that, they might have to wait a little bit longer. Comes down to Nexus. Your Nexus card, you may have to wait a little bit longer to get that. Because, of course, they will be on furlough, not getting paid. Okay. Now, I got to talk about this crazy illegal immigrant that breaks the laws since she got here, Ilan Omar in Minnesota, right after I talk about my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. And Hamel Machine Company has been around since 1948. And when industry moves to any area, to Niagara Falls, any area for that matter, they want to know there's a good machine shop there. So when they have a problem with anything, they can get it fixed. Because time is money. If something shuts down in the middle of production, the quicker they can get it back online, excuse me, the better. And Hamel Machine Shop has been doing that since 1948, helping industry get back into production by re-engineering broken pieces of their machinery, fixing broken pieces of their machinery, whatever it takes. And not only that, when they do fix the piece of machinery, they look at it and see if they can make it better. I'm having a tough time here today. I got the hums real bad. But they see if they can make it better. And when they do make it better and they innovate, then it helps the industry produce more, which is more bottom line revenue. That's why they depend on small machine shops like Hamel Machine, but they're not that small. They innovate and they ship their products all around the world. They've helped the wine industry, they've helped the food industry, they've helped the agricultural industry. They have 3D printers, water jet cutters. They can do anything with metal. And they have the technicians and the know how to do it. The IT people, the electrical engineers, they got them all. And they know how to do it the best. That's why people go to Hamill Machine Company. They're innovative and they know what they're doing. Now, a little guy like me and you, we need something done. Guess what? We're welcome in their shop. They'll help us any way they can. You spin your axle on your whatever. Guess what? You can go there. They'll help you fix it. They'll get it fixed for you. No problemo. Hamill Machine Company, been around since 1948. HamillMachine.ca is where you go to see the beautiful work that they do. Support our sponsors. They support the city. They're good corporate citizens. We love them to death. We love our sponsors. We just love our sponsors. Finally, in Minnesota, here's this Ilhan Omar, the American hating Democratic Congresswoman from Minnesota who married her brother to get into the country, lied on her immigration form to get into the United States, and all that's coming back to her to haunt her now. Karma comes around, goes around, goes around, comes around. Immigration fraud, marriage fraud, tax fraud, and election fraud are all on her resume, one that she's gotten away with, but not for long. They're sworn affidavits to substantiate all these fraudulent moves by her. She's going down, charged, and deported. Yay. And this same disgraziata said that Charlie Kirk has a record of bigotry, hatred, and white supremacy, and says there's no legend and no legacy to honor after his assassination. This is sick. These people are sick. She hates America, hates anything American, and she hates what America stands for. She's Somalian. She's going back to Somalia, where she came from. The sooner the better. Stay tuned for this one. We got to get rid of her. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm just telling you the story of her. They're getting rid of her. We gotta get rid of Carney. That's who we got to get rid of. And come on, PP, and please, PP, get a non-confidence vote going. Get rid of this carnage. I don't know what PP's waiting for. Let's call a vote. Come on, but you know what? He's not going to win. He's not going to win a non-confidence vote. Carney's got the support of everybody that he's supporting, and that's the NDP and the Parti Québécois and the Green or whatever else. He's yeah, all he needs is one or two votes. He almost got a majority. Sad but true. So the ultimatum for peace is in the hands of Hamas. They have 72 hours to respond before all hell breaks loose in Gaza. You're not sure of whose side you should be on in this battle? Consider this. Who started this war on October 7th? Which side does the world consider a bunch of terrorists? Who is still holding civilian hostages? Who keeps stealing aid from their people? Who consistently turns down ceasefire agreements? You can answer that. Sadly, the left-wing radicals blame, the media blames who? You know who they blame. Israel, of course. That tells you right there the real story about the war. Speaking of the war, Trump is looking to end it fast. He's delivered the ultimatum and the peace agreement. Netanyahu has apologized for incursion into Qatar a few weeks ago. And now the ball's in Hamas's court, and they have 72 hours to come up with a solution before Israel, with Trump's blessing, rains holy hell on them. So they want them to end the war once for all, put down their arms, give back the hostages, and call it quits. And Netanyahu said, hey, you can do this the easy way, Hamas, or you can do it the hard way. It's your choice, but either way, it's going to happen. So we're going to see Hamas make their choice probably they're supposed to make it by the weekend. So we'll see what's happened. The clock is ticking, and there's something else going on in the Middle East here. I'm not sure what, but a whack of tankers left the United States. KC-135 tankers headed to Britain, and then they jumped to Qatar. And the last time this happened, a couple days later, B-2 Spirits out of Whitman Air Force Base in Missouri made a 37-hour round-trip flight to Iran and wiped out their nuclear program. The last time there were that many KC-135s in the air, headed to Britain and then to Qatar, B-2 bombers followed them a few days later and hammered nuclear positions in Iran. So we're wondering if this KC-135 movement is a precursor to something coming by the weekend. Stay tuned as Trump looks to end that war and take out these terrorist strongholds and their supporters. So I don't know what's going on. But this is just something that somebody noticed, and they noticed it on Flight Radar 24. They saw them flying over there, so it's not made up. They were actually doing it. And I think I'm going to end off. Oh, I don't get this kid. This kid well, not a kid anymore. She's 22 years old or something. Greta Bumberg. Remember that little brat that screamed at everyone, "How dare you?" Remember her? She's back. She can't stay out of the news. She's always got to be in the news. Now she's causing trouble off the coast of Gaza. And it's no surprise that the IDF, while going through buildings in Gaza City, found some interesting documents that show the little big mouth has been funded by Hamas terrorists to come to Gaza and cause trouble. Yeah, that's right. Of course, the terrorists are saying the documents are fake, but I mean, they showed them. They're right there. There she is. And she's got a flotilla with her. Oh, yeah. It's not just her on a sailboat. Like she said, she came over to America. Remember that? That was a joke. That was false. That was fake news. But here she is with a flotilla, all kinds of crew and cameras. So who's funding this little brat's adventures? Well, the Israeli military have stepped in and stopped the flotilla funded by, it looks like, Hamas terrorists of over a dozen vessels. And they're now going to be deported back to their home countries where they belong. Now, Bumberg claims they were trying to deliver aid to Gaza. The IDF says they are not interested in aid. They're interested in provocation. That's what the Israelis are saying. She's not interested in helping anyone. She's interested in provocation. She never has yet made it to deliver any aid they allegedly have. Yeah, this Israeli military stepped in and stopped her flotilla of over a dozen vessels. They're going back. The first ships were intercepted and boarded by Israeli forces 70 nautical miles from Gaza. Passengers are being sent to Israel, and they're all going to be deported. Israeli Foreign Ministry says Greta and her friends are all safe and healthy on their way back home. Of course, they can click their heels 3 times to go home, but they won't. Supporting the terrorists does not sit well with the Israelis, no matter who it is. And their boat had a big sign reading, "Free Palestine." So they made no friends in the area, except for friends of terrorists. Bye-bye, Greta. Go home. Stop being such a showboat. Your 15 minutes of fame ended long ago. How dare she? And that's it for me today. Greta Bumberg going home. I'm going home. And so am I. I'm going home too. That's it for me. Beautiful. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Sorry about our guys who listen on the radio. Of course, they're not going to get anything because it's not broadcasting. Nothing I can do. The tech's got to get in here and fix it. But I will be back tomorrow with Finally Friday. I expect it to be working tomorrow. So drop in at noon. Support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, and now on Throwstone Road, and Hamel Machine Company. Great sponsors. We love them all. Thank them for sponsoring us. They really help us out with the show. Although there's not a lot of costs in doing the show. I mean, we do have costs, and it's nice to have somebody helping to bring this show to you every day at live at noon on 4680q.com. And also, somebody's out there waving at me. I'm not sure exactly who it is, but thank you for waving. But they help to bring the show to you and get it out there every day. And of course, we have the video coming up. This video will be on by 3 o'clock. And it's on X, YouTube, Rumble, and Truth Social. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from the studios of 4680Q, downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, across from the Meteor Crater. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 12 noon sharp. Promises made, promises kept. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy.